Hello friends, I'm here to explain the poem Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda from the book Flamingo, a textbook for class 12th. About the poet, Pablo Neruda 1904 to 1973 is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basualto. Born in the town of Parel in Chile, he was a diplomat, politician, and a Latin American poet. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. He wrote easily understood poems, but with a deep message. He was a romantic and a revolutionary poet. About the poem, the line lengths of the stanzas vary, referring to the shift of thought from stanza to stanza. He had traveled far and wide and had witnessed people and wars. He invokes the human race to keep silent and introspect. He despised the idea of war and wishes that people would stop and rethink deeply about their actions. Literary devices used in the poem: alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound or several words close together which all begin with the same letter or sound, for example, we will, we would, strangeness, his hurt hands, wars with, we were. Anaphora, two consecutive lines starting with the word let's. Assonance, use of vowel o. Enjambment, the continuation of a sentence or phrase from one line of poetry to the next. Repetition, use of the word war. Symbolism, by using the symbols of nature and earth, the poet effectively conveys the idea that keeping quiet is not a state of total inactivity. The poem: now we will count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once, on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. Analysis: Keeping Quiet is a peace poem. It is about the power of introspect and silence. The poet suggests that there is a dire need for the humanity to observe silence, stop all movement so that introspection can happen at the level of one's own actions, deeds done, and behavior. We all need to stop being judgmental about the others, our surroundings, and focus on ourselves alone. Pablo Neruda, one of the most celebrated poets of the 20th century, but also one of the most accessible and controversial. It should not be confused with death, since life is an ongoing process and should not become stagnant at any point of time. The number 12 signifies time, the 12 hours of a day, 12 months of an year, and the 12 zodiac signs. He forbids everyone from saying anything because he feels that languages create barriers between people, whereas silence is golden. In serenity, the heart speaks to another heart, softly and lovingly. Pure thought only arises when you stop and think. Arms can be referred to the limbs of a human or the ammunition used for war. He suggests that there should be no sound of the engines or people moving about in rush. The whales would not be harmed by the fishermen at sea, and the man gathering salt would tend to his wounded hands. One would be able to stop and observe all that has been going on in life. The poet is totally against war and mentions that the army men should also dress up in their best clean attires and walk about in brotherhood, rest in shade, relax, and not think of war or the enemy. The poet says that he does not want indolence, idleness, or inactivity, but he wants everyone to stop and think deep. The way the earth quietly gives nutrition to the fruit trees, vegetables, humans, and animals alike. The same way, one needs to work hard in silence, observe, and introspect for a better tomorrow. The earth has tremendous power in its stillness. I will go means he remains detached with the ongoings. He hopes for a change in the state of one's mind in stillness. He claims that to sustain peace and harmony, we must take time to pause and reflect. Quotes: Within you there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time. Hermann Karl Hesse. It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organize the peace. Aristotle. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. Eckhart Tolle. The theme: this poem highlights the importance of sustaining peace and silence. He emphasizes being peaceful and non-harmful to humans, animals, and the environment. He claims that to be harmonious with ourselves and the others around us, we need to stop all activity, pause, and reflect. If you liked the video and the explanation, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below if there's any other poem you want me to explain. Thank you.